And DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps, is giving new customers a shot to turn $5 into $150 instantly in bonus bet with any college basketball bet. North Carolina listeners, don't forget, DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in your state. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Shannon. New customers can bet $5 and get $150 instantly in bonus bets. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code Shannon. The crown is yours. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us again for another episode of Nightcap. I am your favorite Unc, Shannon Sharpe. He's your favorite number 0, Arizona Wildcat legend, Wizard great, once scored 60 points in an NBA game in flip-flops. He is the hibachi man himself, Gilbert Arenas. Thank you again for joining us. Guys, please go vote for us for a Webby Award. Who are we up against? Oh, New Heights. The Kelsey brothers. And man, you know, they got these Swifties and they probably got like 150 emails each. So right now we're currently in second place behind those guys. And I know it's a daunting task to probably take those guys down with the Swifties in there, that's egging up, that's got a battery in their back. But that's our mission, to take the Swifties down along with Travis and Jason Kelsey. But thank you guys. We pinned the link where you can go vote for us at the top of the chat. So thank you so much for that. Please, one more time, make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast Nightcap, but please go vote for us because we're trying to beat the Kelseys. We're going to get them in something. Sooner or later, we're going to catch y'all ass, Trav. We're going to get you. Please make sure you subscribe to the Nightcap podcast feed. You can listen to Nightcap through the Club Shay Shay feed, but we would greatly appreciate it if you subscribe and listen to the Nightcap through the Nightcap podcast feed. Thank you again for selling out Shea by Laportier. We have pinned the link at the top of the chat. Also, we have shipments in, so we should be able to fulfill all orders. Pre-orders only, that's what we're doing now, only pre-orders, but we should have enough in stock to supply the orders that were placed before and the pre-orders as they come in. So thank you again for that. Also, please like and subscribe to Gil's Arena channel on YouTube. His show airs Monday through Thursday, live at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. That's Gil's Arena channel on YouTube. His show airs Monday through Thursday, live at 11:30 a.m. Pacific. Gil also has a personal YouTube page, and it's called No Chill Gil. He has a personal page, Gilbert Arenas, No Chill Gil. Let's go there and get his subs up. Gil, let's get right into it tonight. The Lakers beat the Wizards 125-120. LA improved to 44-33, finished the 6-game road trip 5-1. The game really shouldn't have been this close, but ended up having to put the starters back in with about 35 seconds to go because of a 12 or 13-point lead got cut down to 5. So they're 5-1 on the road trip. They're currently tied with Sacramento and Phoenix in the loss column, but 2 games back. No, tied in the win column, but they're 2 games back in the loss column. LeBron James, another magnificent night, 25-7-9. Anthony Davis was dominant. 35 points on 10 of 17 shooting, 15 of 15 from the free throw line, 18 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 blocks, and they hold on to beat the Wizards 125-120. As you watch the game, not just this, let's go all the way back, and if you can remember the games that they played, and they played really well on this road trip, Gail. What have you liked most about what you've seen from the Lakers?
That they've they've beat the teams that they were supposed to beat. They did what they were supposed to do.
Yes.
LeBron James has stepped up. AD has played well, and the role players that we were having troubles with, let's say around the end of December, January, those guys are playing more consistent now.
Yes.
Right? When you're talking about getting into the playoff, it seems like everybody is ramping it up for the playoff, and it's on the same mission here.
Yeah, I like what I saw. LeBron has been really, really good. And as he mentioned, he says, look, guys, the last year I had to deal with the foot. So basically I was just playing the games. I wasn't able to get any on-court activity. I couldn't do, practice. I couldn't do shoot-arounds or anything of that nature. Now I come out here before the game. I'm able to get my shots up before the game. I'm able to get on the court with the guys for shoot-around. I'm able to, work on my shot. And you can tell. 9 or 10 the other day, 40 points on 17 shots. Comes back last night at 8 or 10, 10 or 12. Yep. Very few shots again, very, very efficient last night against Toronto. Another efficient night, another 50% shooting night tonight. But as you said, Gil, we knew this was on the horizon. We knew they were going to play a lot of sub 500 teams. And if you're trying to get to where you ultimately need to be, these are the teams that you need to beat. These are the teams that early in the year that was sub 500 when they were in November and December that was beating the Lakers. And you're like, what the hell? And it's still troubling to me. With Anthony Davis playing as well as he is, and he's played 72 games. LeBron is being LeBron. And here we are 44 and 33, and we're in the ninth spot, Gil. I still can't understand that for the life of me.
You know what? I want to give Prince his credit, right? At the beginning of the season, right, my complaint with him and Vando was you guys are sitting in the corner being atmosphere, right? And as of late, Prince has been diving a lot more, getting into those open spaces.
Yeah, the creases.
Right? Yeah, he's been slashing, diving because the defense didn't expect that. So he's getting a lot of easy points and keeping the defense honest by moving. Just little things like that is what makes those guys important. If you're sitting in a corner just being atmosphere, it's harder for AD and LeBron. So the fact that he has played this well, LeBron has played this well, and we are struggling, I will take that to see how we're playing now.
Right. And plus the thing is D-Lo has vastly improved from the end of January, say beginning of February until now. D-Lo has been sensational. Had he been playing like that all along, the trade talks would have never come up.
Yeah, no, you're right. It wouldn't have. And I think because of the trade talks, it put some urgency into his game, right? When you start off a season, you don't want to be traded.
Hell no.
Like we can count the millions, you can count all the money in my pocket, but leaving the city that I call home to go somewhere else, to learn that city, to learn that players, to learn the routes, the routes, money has no impact on that. If I take you from your job, no matter how much you're making, and take you to a whole nother city, you're going to have a tough time struggling, especially mentally. Right.
I think, I don't know if he has a wife or a significant other. I know he has a small child that I see him with from time to time after the games. Now because it's just not you.
Yeah.
You have to think of other people. You have to think of your wife or your significant other, the kids. And I think he really wanted to be back in LA because I'm not so sure he really wanted to leave LA in the first place. So he looks at it as a second chance. I got a second opportunity to come back and fulfill or correct the wrong that happened before.
Yeah.
And so I don't think he really wanted to leave LA the first time. And I know for certain he doesn't want to leave now because he said, I want to be a Laker next year. And he's playing like he wants to be a Laker next year. He's shooting the ball extremely well, doing a great job of running the offense when he's asked to do so. But I love the way he's played. LeBron is LeBron. I mean, it goes without saying. The guy's shooting 54% from the floor. Anthony Davis is giving you 25 and basically 13 on a nightly basis. Rui has been sensational also. I mean, he's shooting the ball at a high level. Austin Reeves is Mr. Consistent. You know what you're going to get. But I do think, Gil, we're going to probably need a little bit more for our bench. Dinwiddie's going to have to give us a little more. Prince is going to have to give us a little more. We know what to expect from Jackson Hayes. He's an effort guy. He's going to challenge shots at the rim. He's going to run, get you some putbacks, get you some lob dunks. So I don't know really. I'm not expecting him to give us 12. If he can give us 6 and 8, a couple of blocks, some time, some solid defense, okay, we can live with that. But I think Dinwiddie, I think Taurean Prince, those are our two main bench guys. Those guys are going to probably need to be in the double figures in order for the Lakers, because you can't ask your starters to go out there and score 120 points every damn night.
No, you're going to need about, I'll say in the playoffs, depending on who we match up against, 20, 25, 30 points from our bench.
Yes.
And the 90% of that is coming from Prince
and Dinwiddie.
And Dinwiddie, right? And that's just the way it is. And, just like Miami, Jimmy Butler played very well first 2 rounds. And then I think it was Caleb Martin, right? That almost won an MVP of one of those games. And they was chanting his name, right? Yeah. Those what we need. We need different players stepping up at the right time because it's not expected in the playoffs. In the playoffs, it's grit and grind, right? We're dialed in. We know the playbook. We know your first option. We know your second option. So to really be like dominant in the playoffs, you're playing in your third option mode for the first time. For the most part. So when guys step out of their body, right? Austin Reeves goes for a 30. D'Lo goes for a 30, right? Rui goes for those are the games that we need in those times.
If you look at last year against the Grizzlies, remember that road game? Rui goes crazy.
Yep.
They're like, we're gonna let you shoot the 3. Rui said, okay, thank you. And the next thing, you go back and you get your split. And so now, and then you come home, Austin Reeves takes over a game.
Yep.
So they're going to be game. Look, your star, you need AD and LeBron to be AD and AD. But you also need a third guy.
Yep.
At different points of a game. It was Rui one game. It was Hachimura. It was Austin Reeves another game. And that's what you need because AD and LeBron is going to be AD and LeBron.
Yep.
Can we get another game from a Rui where he gives us 20 to 25? Can we get a game like that from Austin Reeves where he gives us 20 to 25? Because I'm counting on LeBron and them to give me somewhere between 50 and 60 on a nightly basis.
Between him and AD, yep.
Him and AD to give us somewhere between 50 and 60 on a nightly basis. Now, we get Rui a game. We get Austin Reeves gives us a game. To go along with those guys, we get D'Lo to give us a game. We get our bench to give us 20 between those 3 guys, but the main contributors will be Dinwiddie, will be Taurean Prince, Jackson Hayes, but the main corporates would be those 2 guys, Dinwiddie and Prince. I like the Lakers' chances, but they're gonna they have a big lead and then they give it away. Yeah. They run back out to another big lead, 17, 18 points, and they let the Wizards get it all the way back down to 2.
Because when LeBron is not taking over the game, those guys don't know how to finish players off. They don't know how to just finish you, right? And I know this is a different league where threes really help you get back into games.
Oh, for sure.
A 20-point lead can be cut 5-4 shots, right? You get three threes and one, and you're right back in the game. And that's what the Golden State style was. So, sometimes when you have your foot on their throat, you just got to crush it.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
I think the thing is also, Gil, is that a lot of times when you get up, and if you get up a certain way, you keep playing that way. But you keep taking bad shots, and when they go in, you like, everybody high-fiving and everybody like keying. But all of a sudden, you take a couple of those bad shots, and they race back to the other end, get some easy buckets, and the next thing you know, they hit a couple of threes, and all of a sudden, like you said, your 20-point lead is not down to 10, maybe even 9.
Yep.
Now you're like, oh, damn, what happened? Because we just watched the Wizards go on a 15-0 run.
Yeah.
So if the Wizards can go on a 15-0 run, Sacramento can do that. Phoenix can do that. The Nuggets can do that.
But right now, this is bad teams' best time to play basketball.
Oh yeah.
this is it right now. Coach, you can't sub me, right? It is what it is. Season about to be over. You about to be fired. I'm about to be traded. Free agency. So right now is the best time for bad teams because you get no responsibility whatsoever.
Yeah.
And it's basically summer league basketball for these guys. So you're going to have a lot of teams playing, spoiler alert.
You know what, Gil? I knew one thing. Kyle Kuzma ain't played in a week, but I knew he's gonna play against the Lakers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he wants to show y'all should have never got rid of me.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the way he's playing, but he wasn't gonna be able to do that with AD and LeBron, and that's what he doesn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal averaged 30. Bradley Beal is a 20 average 31 year at the high 20s, but he's not going to get the shots.
Yeah.
It's hard for a third option to be what he was when he was the first option, especially when the first two options is Anthony Davis and LeBron.
Yeah.
The first two options are Book and KD and Book. So it's hard for Beal to get those. You understand that. James Worthy. James is a Hall of Famer. But you know it was going to Kareem, Magic. Okay, everybody else fill in.
Yeah, you know with Beal, I watched him a lot. They overpass sometimes. There's times where that guy has that shot and he'll swing, right? Those guys are playing unselfish, sometimes to the point where your shot is better than that open corner shot from that guy. And I think Beal does that a lot where he has the shot and he makes the extra pass. And there's going to be times where he could average 20. The shots are there. The ball movement is there, but I think because they trust each other so much that they're willing. Like he'll pass up a shot to pass it to Grayson Allen or Gordon, where
sometimes in a situation, Gil, you're absolutely right. And I noticed that also a lot of times when teams have big threes or teams just come together, I'm going to show you that I'm so unselfish.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass up this shot right here. I see right at the season what I did. I gave up this good shot to get a great shot. Bro, go ahead and take that.
Take that. It already touched the main two guys' hands. Boom, boom. It came to you. This is when you get to work. So making that extra pass sometimes kind of takes away from what you do. But they will be dangerous in the playoffs. So this is going to be a good one.
Yeah. The Celtics beat the Thunder at the Garden 135-100 for the first time in 14 years. They've clinched the NBA's best record in home court throughout the NBA playoffs. For as long as they play, they will have home court. The current record is 60-16, and they have 6 games remaining. Kristaps Porzingis led the way with 27 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 blocks. Jayson Tatum, 24 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Jaylen Brown, 23 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks. Al Horford had 16 points, 4 rebounds. He was plus 32. Holiday, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Peyton Pritchard, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals. And Hauser even chipped in with 10 points. Very balanced. But what did you expect? I don't think they had Shai-Gilgeous. I didn't see Trent Holmgren unless he played early in the game. I tuned into that game a little late because I didn't really expect them to do much because Shai has been in and out of the lineup with that quad injury. But the Celtics are a very balanced team, and you're going to have to play extremely well to beat them. Now, their Achilles heels or their bugaboo is to get them in the fourth quarter and make them execute.
Yeah,
because they hit a lot of tough those shots, Gil, that go in early in the ball game, and those tough that JT between his legs and sidestep 3, JB, those deep threes that go in early. In the fourth quarter, they're still taking those shots. They're not going in, and they're allowing teams to creep back into the ball game and nip them at the end.
Yeah, their struggles is that they consistently rely on jump shots.
Yes.
Right? When you have two guys that are all of 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", that are athletic.
Yes.
You guys are the athletic players in your position where no one's stopping you from getting to the rim. You're stopping yourself by relying, settling for jumpers, right? You know, if I'm a defender, yeah, if Tatum goes for 30, 40 on jump shots, so be it.
So be it.
But I'd rather that than him putting me in the basket, putting the team in foul trouble, putting me in foul trouble. Right now, I got to ask for helps and all that stuff, right? That's where they need to switch their game in the playoffs, where they have to come out and consciously think, get to the basket, get to the basket, get to the basket, because the playoffs is strategy, right? I need to show you something in the first 3 quarters and give you what I really want to do in the fourth quarter. If I really want to shoot jumpers in the first 3 quarters, I need to be driving.
Right.
So you're on your heels so I can. But if you sidestepped me the whole first 3 quarters, I know what you want to do in the fourth. So now basketball becomes stale to you because for the most part, you're going to go pick and roll, go by yourself. The other 2 guys are going to be sitting in the cutter. In the cut, you guys don't know how to play without the ball. That's one problem they have too, that when one has the ball, the other one doesn't know how to play basketball.
He goes in the corner and stands.
In the corner, he sits. He might as well just sit on the bench at that goddamn point.
Yeah.
He can sit on the bench clapping hands and stuff because he don't move, right? It's not like he's keeping the defense honest. He's not, Gordon or back when LeBron and D Wade was playing. When one's driving, the other one's driving too for that dump off in the dunk. If they play that way, trust me, in the play, they're going to run through teams.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see because we keep saying this is their year. Jayson Tatum has gotten better and better every year. Jaylen Brown has turned into more than an athlete. Now he can shoot the ball. He can drive the ball. There's no excuse. They have Porzingis, who's a mismatch because he can pull your big out, and then when you switch it, they go pick and roll with him, or they go pick and roll with him and JB or Derek White. He's gonna get a smaller guy on him, and he's gonna shoot right over the top of him, or he's gonna put him in the basket. So really, as far as a complete team, they are the most complete team in the NBA because when you look at them, they can shoot the 3. And they have guys that can, if they wanted to. JT can post up. He can get you. He can draw. Hey, he can shoot the mid range. He can put the ball on the floor. He can get to the rim. We know We've seen JB put guys in the rim, so we know he can. His jump shot is not as consistent as JT's. We know what Porzingis is. He can shoot the 3. He wants to shoot that more so to get inside, but it's okay. Al Horford is solid. He's gonna get your rebounds. He'll hit the open 3. He'll crash the glass. They have a very consistent team. And when you look at the guys that they have, Holiday is going to make a couple of threes, but he's mainly your perimeter defender. That's his job. Who's the best player? Who's your best perimeter player on the opposing team? So even if you have to give up some of his points to have him help neutralize some of the other guys, you can see that because you should be able to get enough points from JB, JT, Porzingis, Derek White, that even if he doesn't give you his normal 12, 14 points and he's holding the other team's perimeter player to under his average, you can live with that.
Yeah, you know what I like? You know what I really like about the team? It's like they're so versatile, right? When they're small, they're big, right? They're still big. Now, they haven't put this, they only put this lineup in a few times. When they did, they dominated. When you have someone like Jayson Tatum at the point, right? Jaylen Brown at the shooting guard. You can put Sam at the 3. You can put Al Horford at the 4, and you can put Porzingis at the 5, and be a very big mobile team. Which, when Jayson Tatum goes to the point, who guards him?
Right.
It forces you to switch your whole lineup, and no one has a lineup that versatile.
Right.
So they can really do something. If they're playing against Denver, if they make it against Denver, I'm going to use that lineup at the end of the game, where now Murray has to guard Jayson Tatum.
Yeah. And when it comes,
he's not equipped to do that if he's posted up, playing from the mid post.
No, and the plus, when you play that lineup, they can switch everything.
They can switch.
Yeah. Very few teams, they're like, oh, we want to switch, but you're really not equipped to switch. You're just switching because it sounds good. And it makes you seem like you're athletic and you're versatile when you're really not. but they can. They can literally switch because JT at 6'9", 6'10", JB's probably 6'7", 6'8". Holiday is a big two guard.
Not even Holiday. You got Sam at the 3 who's 6'7", 6'8".
Okay, you put Sam.
Yeah.
Then you got Horford. You got Horford who's 6'10", and you got Porzingis who's 7 foot. So, he's 7'3". My bad.
That's what I said. They have rim protection, and then when you switch on Jokic, he's not going against a Sam Vincent like he was against Miami. He's not going against a Kyle Lowry, right? When that switch happens, he's going against Tatum, Brown, that has height on him, with Porzingis sitting in the back protecting the rim.
So, Celtics 16-16 with 6 games remaining, clinch home court throughout the entirety of the playoffs. So as long as they're in the playoffs, they will have home court. Now it's time for our next segment, and it's called a news cap. ESPN Tim McMahon reported that one NBA executive believes that Jokic winning his 3rd MVP in 4 years is not going to age well. I had somebody from another team who was saying you can't, in a historical context, you cannot give this guy 3 MVPs in 4 seasons. Basically, his take was like, that's not going to age well. But Jokic's been dominant. Gil, 26.5 points, 12.3 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 steal, 1.3 steals in 73 games. He's shooting 58% from the floor, 34% from deep. If he brings home his 3rd MVP, he brings home his 3rd MVP. Just because you guys effed it up and wouldn't give it to guys that Jordan probably should have 7 or 8. LeBron should probably have 6 or 7. Other guys, that ain't their fault. But here's the problem that you had, Gil. Until 1981, players voted for the MVP. Let's just think it for a second. People at home. 1 year, Wilt Chamberlain averaged 44 points and 27 rebounds, and he finished 8th in the MVP voting. I want you to hear me again. He averaged 44 and 27 and finished 8th in the MVP voting. The year that he averaged 50 and 25, he did not win the MVP. So you have players like, if I don't like you, I ain't voting for you. So you see what happened prior to the 80s? Players voted for the MVPs. So now you got the writers, and so maybe Wilt should have. The man had 500. What do you have? I think he had 551 consecutive double doubles.
Yeah,
we're applauding Sabonis for having 54. The man went damn near 5-6 years and had double doubles.
Yep.
He never finished the season with less than 18 rebounds in a season. He averaged 23 rebounds for a season for a career. So he probably should have more. And then you wouldn't be upset that Jokic has the potential to win 3 and 4 years if they had done it right. So you wouldn't be mad because Jordan would have 7, and you say, well, damn, if he get 3, he only 2 behind Jordan, and he's 28. That means he's only 1 behind LeBron. He's only 28. He's only this, and that's not his fault. That's not his fault that y'all messed it up.
I got to use your language, that 1964 language. Those mofo jive turkeys, like you're right. They screwed it up, Unc, and you can't rewind it back. Like, no. I understand both sides. One side, the fact that they're having the discussion that they can't give it to him, that is disturbing, which means you've been doing this the whole time.
Thank you. Thank you.
You've been penalizing people the whole time to protect who?
Historical.
And what, right? Who have you been protecting and what have you been protecting? Because you've been doing it. We know Jordan should have 7. So who? He should have 3 in a row. Were you protecting Bird's 3 in a row by not giving to Michael Jordan, right?
Or LeBron.
LeBron should have had some. Shaquille should have had some.
Yes.
Kobe has one. Now, Now, I do understand when they say this about Jokic. Jokic is probably statistically, when it comes to overall game, the worst MVP winner. He is the worst MVP winner in the last 40 years.
Why you say that?
When you're talking about MVP, the guys outside of first and second place, their teams was first and second place. The people who won the MVP, their teams was first and second. When Jordan won it, his team record, they were 7th in the NBA. That year, he averaged 35, 6, 5, 3 steals. All-Star MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, scoring title, steals leader. That was the MVP. Historic year. Makes sense, right? That makes sense. When Westbrook won it, his team had the 10th best record. Triple-double.
First
right?
time since Oscar Robertson in
He did something amazing. His team was 10th, but he did something that wasn't done since Oscar Robertson. When Jokic in 2021, Jokic's team was 5th. He averaged 26, 8, and 10. What was the historic part of that? There was no historic. Oh, the big man almost had a triple-double. Let's give it to him. That's what the narrative was. A big man almost won the triple-double, and they gave it to him when his team record was like that. His second MVP, his team was tied in 10th place. 10th best record in the NBA, 27, 8, and 13. What was historic about it? The two people before him had an amazing season. When you're talking about historic, Magic, teams first place, second place, first place. Jordan 7th, 2nd, 1-1. Bird 1-1. His team was first place every time he won it. LeBron first, 4th, first. Jokic 5th and 10th. That is they did that.
Yes.
They did that. And
yes.
It ain't his fault. He didn't vote for himself.
Right.
You did it. So either you're gonna correct it or keep fucking it up.
Yeah. When Jokic probably said, "Don't correct it on my watch."
Because
don't pick my season to use whiteout and make a correction.
Yeah. So look, his first 2 ones, he probably shouldn't have had those. If you go by history, last year, that should have been his, shouldn't have been Embiid's. Jayson Tatum team has been 1. He's been the best player. He's averaged 30. He's had the number with the rest of history. That was his MVP. Mm-hmm. Now, Jokic is sitting in first with great stats, right?
And he's going to win it.
Now, you know what I mean? Now you're sitting there like, well, shit. I mean, we done cheated for him the last couple of years, so we got to give it to him this year. So when you look at the history of this game, right? How Jokic won his MVP has never been. It's like we're dumbing down.
Right.
We're dumbing down the game for a narrative.
Right.
If you want Euros to look like they're playing well, then just let them play well. When Giannis was winning, he was dominating everything. His team was won. He dominated from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. Both years he won.
Right.
You don't need to handicap greatness.
Right.
You need to handicap greatness.
Kareem probably should have won it every year in the 70s.
Yeah.
Kareem probably should have won it every year in the 70s.
Like
people don't realize how good Kareem was because he was mercurial. He didn't do a whole lot of talking to the media, kind of surly. I think it hurt him a lot. His behavior when he played hurt him and after, because that's why he didn't get a coaching job. But you go back and look at Kareem's stats in the 70s when he was with Milwaukee. When he's averaging 35, he's averaging 35 and 15 and 33 and 16 with 3 blocks and all that. You're like, hold on, who won it? I think Moses Malone was the last one to win the MVP with a losing record. I think in the late 70s. People don't realize Moses Malone got 3 MVPs.
Yeah, Moses. I got Moses here. I mean, in the 80s, his team was first and second. They had the first, second best record. This must be 70s.
Because he won it his only year in Philly, the year they won the championship in '83. You look at his numbers, he should have won it. And
yeah, his team was first. His team was first too in '83.
But 7. What he won? He might have won it in '81. Who won it in 81?
He won it in '82 and '83. And his team was second in '82, and his team was first, had the first best record in.
Did he win it in 78? Was it 78, 77?
Listen, I ain't even go down to the 70s. I just went to the last 40 years. Look.
Right. But
it's like when you're looking at it, it's like when you look back in history and say, all right, he has the 5th best record, average 20. Like if you take it's the assist that we want to glorify that kind of puts his stat in another category. But it's not to the point where he did what Westbrook did. Oh, he averaged triple-double. We used, a big that can pass the ball. That's not how you do. You can't do that. And the fact that you did it for that, now his team is in first. It's like, well, you
got to give it to him.
You got to give it to him now. Like it's him, or you give Jayson Tatum the MVP he deserves.
I don't think Jayson Tatum is going to finish top 3. I think the top 3 will be Jokic. I think it's going to be Luka, Shai-Gilgeous. It's going to be one of those, and then Giannis is going to probably be there somehow. Now that's going to be your all NBA team: Jokic, Giannis, JT, Shai, and Luka. That's going to be your all NBA team, your first team. But I don't think
even with Luka. It's not a real triple-double. We already seen it before. Like when James Harden had his in 2018, his team was first.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, that's why I said, like, what is the criteria? Because you're giving mixed signals. No one, like, I know Jayson Tatum's over there like, what do I need to do? My team's in first place. Every year, we've dominated every year. I'm the best player, and I'm playing very well. How am I not an MVP? In 2022, team was first. He averaged 27, 8, and 4, and went against 27, 8, and 13. But his team was 10th. Like, how do you justify it? That's what I'm saying. Like, they need to sit back and see how are you justifying when you've never done this before?
Right. Well, it's hard to correct a wrong when the wrong has already been committed.
Yep.
So the guy's like, hold on, wait a minute. So you talk about historical purposes, because prior to Bird winning 3 in a row, I think the person that won 3 in a row was it Wilt or Russell? I think it might have been Wilt. Might have been Wilt that won 3. Because if you go back and look at that season, if you look at the season, I think Russell won it that year. I think he averaged like 15 points and 23 rebounds. Mm-hmm. Wilt was 50-25. Elgin Baylor was like 38-19. Walt Bellamy was like 36-17. Jerry West was like 36-5. Bob Pettit was 35. Was like, that was statistically, they say that was the greatest NBA season ever. And if you go back, fans, if you get an opportunity, go back and look at the numbers in that season, and I think you'll see what they're talking about. But really, if you really thought about it, if you look at it, Wilt should have brought, like, I understand that his team, Russell dominated, but you look at Wilt's numbers, they're like crazy. Like, how?
But that's what I'm saying. You got guys who didn't win, who wasn't there, and they had crazy numbers. And what is crazy about 26? Like when Kobe, like now, as a Laker fan and a Kobe fan, it is upsetting now when Kobe had that historic year individually behind MJ, right?
Yeah, that 35, was it 2000, 2005, 2006?
Yeah, it was 2005.
In the 6.
So no,
because that was the year he had 81. He had that 50. He had like 3 straight games of 50.
So his team had the 10th best record, just like Jokic. And I don't even know if Kobe finished second.
Right. They were, back then the voters were still out on Kobe because what transpired was probably still fresh.
That hasn't. What the hell does that have to do with the game itself?
But I'm just telling you how they think.
I know that. You know what? Listen, AI taking over everything. AI kicking writers out. Kick some of these writers out.
Right.
Report AI this and see who it votes for.
I used to vote. I used to be a voter for the All-Pro team, MVP, Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, things of that nature. And I watched all the games. I watched the players. I'm not just your name. Your name don't do it for me. And just because you got a big name and you don't win the 3 All-Pro teams back to back, no. I'm watching your play, and it's going to determine whether I believe you're Defensive Player of the Year or your OPY or your MVP. And so I took it serious. And that stuff off the field, I'm voting for a football player. Yep. What he did on the field. What he did off the field, hey, that ain't got nothing to do. Clearly, it didn't stop him from being great on the field. So that's how I voted. And I voted for a decade. I picked every MVP correctly. I picked every Defensive Player of the Year basically correctly. I missed one. Defensive Rookie of the Year. I ain't gonna tell you who it was, but I missed that. That was the only one I missed. But I get it, Gil, and I'm just saying, and you know how they're human, and they factor things in, things that happen off the field, although they shouldn't. Sometimes they let personal feelings or bias creep into the subconscious, maybe not even the subconscious. Like, I ain't voting for him because I think he's this or I think he's that. And it happens. And I definitely believe that's what happened to Kobe.
Yeah, no, that happens to a lot of people. And that's the problem. Like when you're looking, it's like you have to play the game within the game, but you shouldn't have to. Yeah. I shouldn't have to kiss up to you for you to vote correctly.
Right. Yeah.
That is not part of the game that we train for. We're not training every single day to kiss ass. So this guy who see me once, twice a year votes for me correctly. He don't put no bias in it, right? I think, like something like that, it needs to be AI generated and then let the commissioner, whoever, go from there. Because if you let the commissioner and his staff vote, that is great because they have no input in the day-to-day relationship with a player. There's no bias against someone like Trae Young. Trae Young, only way he wins an MVP, he averaged 35, 10 assists, his 40. Team won, he smiled, he took the referees out to dinner, he done rescued some puppies, right? He done, like, he has to do the Man of the Year award.
Trae Young can't even make the All-Star game, averaging 27 and 10. So he damn ain't win no MVP unless he averaging 40 and 15. I'm just keeping stacked with y'all, man. I mean, the man, the last 2 years, he was 25, 27 and 10, and he can't even sniff the All-Star game.
There's like just certain stats that it's weirded. Like I have Wemby as a Defensive Player of the Year, right?
Yeah,
hands down.
Should get.
Right. And someone said, well, his team ain't winning.
So he is.
That don't stop the steals leader from winning this award. That don't stop the assist leader from winning his award. That don't stop the block leader, the scoring leader, or the rebounder. It don't stop those categories from winning their award.
Exactly.
Best passer in the league, the best defensive player. When he's on the court, this is what he does. His metrics is this. If it doesn't relate to wins, it's not his fault.
Right. But he can't guard everybody.
His plus minus says he is the best defensive player in the NBA. It has nothing to do with his record.
Yeah. And he's been phenomenal. I hope it hadn't happened. I mean, we've only had one MVP. That was a rookie. That was Wes Unseld.
Wes Unseld.
I think that was 69.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen often. In baseball, I think it's happened. I wouldn't look at Shohei as a rookie because he played professional. I think Fred Lynn of the Angels won Rookie of the Year and MVP. Maybe Ichiro did too. But I think Fred Lynn of the Angels, Ichiro might have won it when he beat Jason Giambi in 2001. Maybe Ichiro did. I'm not sure, but I think Fred Lynn is the only guy I can think of. Now, what Gretzky, see in hockey, Gretzky won the MVP 9 straight times, 9 years in a row. And he was the best.
But they did it right. That is right. Like when I'm looking back, when I'm looking at where is that? When Michael Jordan was them 80s, and you're sitting there like, all right, okay, Karl Malone, okay, your team was second. That means Michael Jordan's team was first. How did you win that one? David Robinson.
Well, first of all, David should have won over Akeem that year because Akeem made him pay for it too when they got the playoffs in '94. He should not have won it that year.
But it's just when you look through history, it's like history's been jaded by personal agendas.
Yeah. So, all right, that's our soapbox for that topic. Yeah, the NBA in-season tournament is suddenly looming large over one of the closest playoff races in years. Every seed, except the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, is up for grabs. Seeds 2 through 5 in the East are separated by 2.5 games. Seeds 6 through 8 in the East are separated by only 2.5 games. Seeds 1 through 3 in the West are separated by 1 game. Seeds 4 through 6 in the West are separated by 2.5 games. Seeds 7 through 9 in the West are separated by 1 game. Wow. The NBA could not have asked for anything better than what they're getting right now, because with the exception of the Boston Celtics, you can't rest nobody. Rest if you want to, you'll go from 2nd to 5th. Rest if you want to, you go from in 4 or 5. I think.
Can you hear me?
You hear me, Gil?
Yeah.
You froze a little bit. I said the NBA couldn't ask for anything better because with the exception of the Boston Celtics, nobody can rest. Because if you rest somebody, you might be a 2 seed today, and in 2 or 3 days, you'll be a 5 seed. And if you're a 4 or 5 seed, you find yourself in the play-in tournament. So the NBA is actually winning because the standing says everybody's going to have a virtual end.
Yeah, this is great, especially with all the talk around no defense. This is bad, right? Coming after All-Star break. It's all made up right now. You have some of the greatest games that's about to happen we've never went into the last 2 weeks on our seats, because now teams can't rest, teams got to win, right? Now it's about positioning, also trying to get the right favorable matchup in the playoffs. So this is really a very important time for a lot of teams, right? For a lot of teams. I mean, even with like the Lakers themselves, the Lakers or Phoenix, everybody's shooting for that 6 matchup so they can play against OKC. Right? Yep. You want the 7 matchup because Denver's in it, right? If Denver goes to first place, you don't want the 8 seed, right? So there's a lot of things that's going to be happening, and I don't think we're going to really get a real defined schedule until that last game of the season.
I agree. Because right now the Lakers and Sacramento, and Phoenix all have 44 wins. The Lakers have 2 more losses. They're 44-33, and Sacramento and Phoenix are 44-31. They're about to go to 45 because they were blowing out Cleveland just a moment ago. But everything else is nipped up. Dallas has been on that winning streak, and they've surpassed the Pelicans, and they're nipping at the Clippers. The Clippers have won a couple of games, and so they've kind of solidified themselves back into that 4th spot. But I don't think Dallas fears the Clippers at all. Luka is giving them fits by himself without a sidekick. And you don't want to call. I mean, Kyrie is as good if he's as good a superhero as there is. He got all the gadgets like a bat. If Luka is Batman, well, he got a cape. They got superpowers. He got a bat belt too.
Like, and when you're talking about that 5th seed, I mean, Dallas right now is smiling from ear to ear. They have the Hawks next, Warriors, Rockets, Hornets, Heat, Pistons, Thunder the last game. They can go 6-1,
yeah.
5-2, which is going to keep them at the 4-5 spot.
Yep. I agree. I definitely believe that. The Clippers have kind of solidified themselves. They had a little rough patch there where they lost like 4 or 5 games, but they the last couple of games pulled those games out, kind of reasserted themselves. But yeah, this is definitely what the NBA wanted. Meaningful games, no resting. I think they have to be happy with this year. Guys didn't rest. Guys didn't, load management, day off and all that stuff. Nah, it's too important. And you see that, and I'm happy. I'm happy for the NBA and what they've been able to do, because it keeps the game interesting, and because you're gonna want somebody to break the bank open for these games. And networks don't want to, hold on, bro. Hey, Adam. We paying you billions of dollars, but the superstars, they missing 10, 12 games in these national televised games.
Yeah, you know what? These players, the West playing games is gonna be crazy.
It's crazy.
Because even with New Orleans sitting at 6, they could end up as a 9. They can end up as a 9th seed because their schedule, they got 4 or 5 hard games.
Yeah.
Right.
But they definitely could be in the play-in. We don't know 9, 10, 7, 8, but they definitely could be in the play-in.
Yeah, they can be in the play-in, right? It's ideal if you can somehow get Lakers and Phoenix in 5, 6, and then let Dallas fight for the play-in game. But for the most part, Golden State, Lakers, Phoenix play-in game with Sacramento as it is right now, that's going to be must watch.
Yeah. And the possibility, there's a chance that Steph or LeBron or KD don't make the playoffs.
Whoa. There's a possibility Steph don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, look, in a given situation, he can get hot, Gil. That joker make 14 threes. He ain't going home. He had one of them games, Gil, where he make 14 threes in a game, and you never know Clay. I don't know something about the Lakers. He been chilling all year. He came to the crib, had 17 in the first quarter, had 21 in the half, and him and Steph shot him out the.
Hey,
even when LeBron had 40.
He played defense, right, Unc? Clay played defense, right?
Who?
Sit down. Yeah, we know how to get Clay out the game. Foul. Sit down, sir. You're shooting out of it. Hey, I'm not gonna say I've seen it, but I've seen it before. I've seen the referees try to extend some series out here. And the only way you do it is on the defensive end, them ticky-tack fouls you let go, call it tight, boom, sit him down. We ain't got to worry about your shooting today.
LeBron jokes, he posted on his IG story. LeBron said he should lay off leg day after a photo from the Raptors game. He quoted, captioned, "Maybe I should lay off one leg day one day this week." You see his quad. Is LeBron the most physically gifted athlete we've ever seen?
Yeah. I mean, from top to bottom, usually a guy is not built as solid as him, that height, just straight from bottom. I mean, you got Giannis.
Yeah.
Right. You do have Giannis. But from
are we just talking basketball players? Are we just talking basketball? Or are we gonna put like a Bo Jackson put
I
like
mean,
a D up.
I mean, the football players are he's built like
He's built like a foot sturdy. Like,
more like a football player because for the most part, basketball players, because we don't lift like that, we definitely don't lift legs like that.
no, right.
Now we did like we prison workouters, right? We don't have the little arms right here.
Yeah.
It.
Push up.
We got the twerk bottom. We twerking at the bottom.
Y'all doing box squats, huh? Y'all ain't dropping. Y'all ain't going to. Y'all ain't getting to the bottom.
On the legs.
But he has tremendous leg separation. I mean, his quads, they're splitting. You look at his calves. Oh man, he's you can tell he put time in on his leg, and that's the foundation. One of the first things to go on an athlete, Gil, is his legs.
You're right.
Once his legs go, see, everybody thinks that, well, he does this. No, I don't care. I don't care. Baseball players, your legs go, you're gone. Football players, your legs go, you're gone. Basketball players' leg, you're gone. That's your foundation. That's the foundation in which everything is solidified from waist up.
Yeah, and that's the thing that NBA players, we do not focus enough on, right? We focused on the part of the body that you can see, right? The arms, the shoulder, the abs. Right? When it comes to leg days, we run so much, we jump so much that we don't want to do legs.
Right.
Like, but when you think about the players that really was destroying the game, it was more, they had football backgrounds. Mm-hmm. They had football backgrounds. They were leg dominant. They were very strong, from the leg standpoint, right? And that's what the ones who play longevity, that's what they understand. They do a lot of leg lifting.
Yeah, I think you have to. And like you said, a lot of guys you don't want to. I mean, we had a lot of guys that would. I mean, the only legs I did, especially during the season, was on my off days. I did, we had to do legs twice a week. So I went ahead and got my legs in on a Monday and probably like Thursday, but nothing heavy. I did a little leg press, leg extension, hamstring, stuff like that. But I mean, LeBron, for him to be put together like he is, which you can tell he puts time in it, nutrition is a big part of it. It's one thing to be physically gifted. It's another thing entirely to work at it. And I think that's what the greatest have. You look at Michael Jordan. Yeah, he was talented, but did anybody work harder? Look at Kobe. Yeah, he was talented, but did anybody work harder? LeBron, yes, he's talented. So when you combine those, now you get the perfect storm. And I think LeBron is giving guys the blueprint. It's like, okay, you eat right, you get your rest, you work at your craft, everything is. But now these guys come in, they think brand.
Winning
is a brand.
No, winning is a winning is a brand. I wish I focused on my legs. Even today, I got paraplegic legs, huh? You look at my legs, I got no definition nowhere. Like I don't got a quad muscle in sight.
Come on, Gil. You don't do the. Is your knee bad? If you got bone, you have bone on bone?
I got bone on bone. I can't even bend. I can't bend my leg. I can't even extend it.
Oh, Lord.
I just, for some reason, think that it's going to work itself out and it keeps getting worse.
Well, you know what? You got to build it. But you know what, Gil? I got repaired hips and I do squats. I do lunges. I do leg press because I gotta keep those auxiliary muscles. I got to keep, hip flexors. I got to keep glute muscles. Because you don't want that saggy booty, Gil. You don't. You got to have those glute muscles and quad muscles defined because that's your foul. Because once those go, Gil, it's only a matter of time, man. It's only a matter of time.
A fight almost broke out in our locker room because one player said to another player, man, you got a stripper booty, right? Because he
have that one definition, huh?
Because we was laughing because we all said it like, yeah. He gonna look horrible when he done, because he already had the second booty and one player just couldn't help it. Like, yeah, boy, you got a stripper booty on. We're gonna throw some ones at you. Man, he was so mad. Like, he was so mad at us, man. Because it was funny, like, dog, because everybody's gonna be like, pause. He understood what we were saying. You are sloppy body, dog. You tighten your body. You out here looking like a baby mama.
Like he built like a garment bag. You know how the garment bags ain't got no definition or conform to anything. Yeah, I like come on, bro. But that's what you have to do, Gil. If I was you, go do box squats. You don't have to go parallel. You don't have to go, hey. I mean, can I go parallel? Absolutely. I don't go below parallel, but I do goblet squats. I do Bulgarian split squats. I can do step ups. I do leg press. I do leg extension, hamstring curls. Just start that back to get those glute muscles, hamstring, quads, get all that stuff firing again and see what you feel better.
Look, I got a full gym in the basement. I go there and watch Netflix.
That's a great selling tool if you want to sell the house. It comes with its own in-home gym.
I get my energy. Listen, I wake up every morning 5:30. Go get me a coffee, right? I go get me a coffee. I put on the cream, get my little outfit on, right? Sit right on the box, turn on. Right now it's Jamie Foxx. I'm on season 2. Just started last week. Just sitting there, just watching.
What you go down there for? You might as well just go ahead and work out, Gil.
I tell myself that every day. I said every day, this is the day I'm going to start, right? And I get down there and just want to watch TV, man.
I'm telling you, you'll feel so much. I mean, if you started doing some leg work, man, you feel so much better, Gil. You would, I'm telling you. Because I know, Gil, I was squatting and lunging like a week after I had my hips replaced.
Oh, wow.
And now we got bad hips, bad genetics running our family. So, but I still
like a Rockweiler.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I had before. Now I can't do what I used to do. Hell, I was damn near a 600-pound squatter. I could deadlift 600 pounds. I can't move that kind of. I wouldn't try to now. I don't need to. I just want to stay strong enough, to get them up off me.
Yeah.
That's all. I just want to get them up off me, Gil. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Gil? Sometimes like, hey, damn, you still pretty strong.
Mm-hmm. Who you dealing with? You dealing with them Lizzos?
Yeah, hey. No. I mean, I can't lift them like I once could, though, Gil. But every once in a while, I lift them up and put them back down. Now, it ain't no lift them up and hold you. You ain't fun size.
All right, I'll get over there trying to hold it up. Oh, that's
no. I think just a you got all the money. I lift them up every once in a while, set them back down. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like hold them up. Walk around. They're over here, over there. I ain't got that kind of back anymore.
Oh yeah,
ain't got that kind of back no more, Gil.
Ain't got with 105, 110. You know what I mean?
That's see, you got them dogs. See, you got them dogs, them Barbies. I ain't got time to put legs back together. They're too small.
Hey, I try to pick you up. We both falling.
I mean, the woman they want to feel sexy. Get in, like, can you pick me up? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, everybody that had, you got to pick them up at least once. Now they get too big, hey, you have just one leg. You just hold one leg up.
Hold one leg. You want to?
Hey, can you pick the other one up? Hell no, I'm finna sit this one down. I'm tired. What the hell you talking about? Pick both of them up? Hey, I had to get me that bed like they have it in the bed. How they have your leg hanging up, Gil?
Yeah.
When you're in the hospital, hey, the contraption holding one, I got the other. That's the best I can do for you, baby.
Help me out.
Bronny is possibly transferring. He put his name in the transfer portal. Questions about Bronny's future have picked up this week after coach Andy Edenfield left for head coach of Vegas at SMU. Maybe he goes there. LeBron addressed the rumors last night. Let's take a listen to what LeBron had to say.
Well, I don't know where it came from, but at the end of the day, Bronny's his own man, and he has some tough decisions to make. Yeah. And when he's ready to make those decisions, he'll let us all know. But as his family, we're going to support whatever he does.
Bronny is eligible to enter his name into the NBA draft, but mock draft select suggests that he's likely to go undrafted in 2024. He had an underwhelming freshman season at USC, understanding that what transpired this summer, it's just a miracle that he was even on the court. Played 25 games, averaged a little less than 5 points, a little less than 3 rebounds, 2 assists a game. The Trojans failed to qualify for the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2019. But the sheer fact that he overcame that health scare was an amazing feat in and of itself. And so I think it'd be wise for him to go back and maybe he gets a clean bill of health and he's able to play 30 minutes, 35 minutes, and because he was on a minutes restriction, show some flashes of athleticism. But like LeBron said, and I'm sure LeBron, he and his mom and Savannah is going to help. But LeBron, like he said, he got some tough decisions he got to make, and you just support him in whatever he decides to do.
Yeah, I when they said he was training, transferring, I'm like, that doesn't sound like Bronny. Like, Bronny is not a quitter. He's gonna stick it out. He's a loyal kid, right? I know his coach left, but it's not like he played him any goddamn way.
Right.
I hear Musselman might be the coach coming in. Now Eric Musselman. That'd be great for Bronny. I played under Musselman. Musselman gave me my shot in Golden State, right? He's one of those fiery, small guard type of players. So if you're playing the right way, he loves to play small ball. He'll play 4 or 5 guards if you have to, right? He's going to put up a lot of threes, and that's going to play to Bronny's strengths, where they're just going up and down.
Up and down.
I think they will stick it out. I don't see Bronny just getting up and leave. He loves it in LA. His home is here. His family here. His friends here. His brand is here. I don't see him going to. He said MSU. Where is that at?
Southern SMU. That's in Dallas.
Nah.
Okay. They got money now. They got money.
Well, unfortunately, that's Bronny James. Bronny James got money. That's one person you're not going to sway with a bat. He got that already.
Ja Morant fires his longtime agent. Woj treated. Ja Morant has fired his longtime agent Jim Tanner have parted ways. Sources tell ESPN Tanner had represented Morant since coming out of Murray State as the number 2 overall draft pick in 2019. What do you think is next for Ja?
Right now, I'm just happy for him.
What does this move tell you, Gil? What does this move tell you?
I think he's cleaning house. He's surrounding himself with, I can't say nothing about his agent, smarter people, people who can take him to that next step. The fact that he's stayed out of the limelight, he's getting healthy, right? For the most part, his troubles was his cell phone. Right. And, the fact that he's laid low, I think everybody just can't wait to next year with him. And I think he's just this summer's going to be a real rebranding for him. And, just like, everybody in Memphis, you just can't wait for him to come back just to see the magnitude of who he is.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what comes, how he bounces back from that injury. What he had. I mean, he's a phenomenal player. I got an opportunity to see him a couple of times in person, and the way he can elevate, the way he can contort his body, the way he plays, the effort, and he's such a small guy.
Yeah. He's thin.
Yeah, but you know what? He has a tremendous foundation. If you look at him from waist down, he ain't thin like he is from waist up. So he has a tremendous foundation. And he has to have Gil because he spends so much time up in the air.
Yeah, that's gonna be something that he's gonna have to learn. If I'm him, he should study like the Shays right now, study the Jordan, the Kobe, like them later on years when they started posting up, they started staying lower to the ground.
Yeah, you don't have to jump out the gym on every play.
Jump out of the gym only on fast break and wide open lanes, right? For the most part, work on your floaters, your up and unders, right? Your posts, your fades, right? For that longevity. Because, every time you jump, you're not jumping, like you're not Wimby jumping where he's just using arms. You're using your jumping ability.
Oh, yeah. 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 Wimby barely has to jump in order to block your shot. He definitely could be an Edie where he don't even need the ladder to cut down the net. He just start cutting.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's great for him. That's his advantage where, he's gonna stay from getting those ankle sprains that, normally a lot of big guys get. So, with Ja, this is one of those years where he just studies the game and study longevity type of a type of game. Yes. Right. And give us the excitement plays when you have that runway space.
Right. Yeah, hopefully he had an opportunity to do a lot of self-reflecting, look at some of the things that he did great, some of the things that didn't go quite so well, learn from those and says, okay, come out as a better person, start the 2024 season. So I'm excited to see what the season holds for Ja Morant. So he's parting ways with his longtime agent, Jim Tanner. I'm sure that didn't come easy because when you've been somewhere and you build up a relationship with your agent. I've had my agent since 1996.
Okay.
And so wish him, Ja, the best of luck, speedy recovery. Let's get 24. Let's get it. Yep. Josh Hart jokes that Jimmy Butler does side quests until the NBA playoffs. Hart said Jimmy kind of does side quests during the year until about April. Then he starts locking in. I'm sure people are going to see that maniac competitive side now that he's done with the side quest and he's on the main quest. Yeah, what do you? Because Jimmy's very unique. I don't think we've ever seen a guy that go to that. I mean, you look at what he does in the regular season. I mean, we see Jordan increased his playoff average. He scores 34 career. His playoff scoring average is 33. Kevin Durant averaged 27, 27.2, 27.3. He goes to 28, 29. LeBron averaged 27.2, 27.1. He goes to 28.5. So we've seen guys incrementally. We ain't seen a guy like Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, but this can go either way, right? A guy at his magnitude averaging 20 during the regular season, right?
Wow.
Are we looking at this wrong? Are we looking at a guy who's
should be doing more in the regular season to match what he does in the postseason?
Yeah, because we're looking at this big gap of a performance, right? We're saying this guy is finals MVP style, right? Eastern Conference final. We're giving him this Jimmy Butler, this juggernaut. Playoff Jimmy, but it's 17 games. When the 82 games, he's just passing through. Right? Everyone, the Tatum's right. The Tatum is averaging 27, and then in the playoffs averaging 29. I'm pretty sure if Jayson Tatum averaged 20 in regular season and then averaged 29, we'll be looking like, oh, this is the best performance that. But these guys are maximizing their talent. And, Jimmy is averaging 20, 21, playing as a second, third option. And then in the playoffs, he turns it on. That seems like it kind of, it seems backwards to what we are telling, our fans and telling the youth.
Yeah, because, okay, you give us that kind of performance in the postseason, what's going on in the regular season? Yeah. Because the basket didn't change. The teams are just as difficult that you're going to, because those teams that you played in the playoffs, you played against them in the regular season. So what's so different about the postseason than the regular season? Like I said, I understand incremental growth in points and scoring or rebounding or whatever the case may be, but not that vast of a difference.
Yeah, I mean, what is he in scoring per game? He's ranked 35.
Is he even 20? He averaging 20 points this year?
He's averaging 21. Tyler Hero. I mean, you got Terry averaging 20, Bam averaging 19, right? So he's ranked 35, right? So it's like you're scoring with Terry Rozier, scary Terry. That's where you're saying your game is, and then you turn into a playoff player. If he was playing like an all-star, right, an all-NBA player, and he was averaging 26 in the playoffs, will we be excited about it? If he was averaging, if he was averaging 28 and 26, the only reason we're excited about this is because it's 20 to 26. So we're like, ooh, right? Yeah. But if he was averaging the 26 in regular season, averaging 0.9 more points, we were like, eh.
Right. And then we see him go get 57. We see him get 50s. We see him get the 40s. And you're
but you know what I think it is that kind of makes him special, right? As much as I can say I don't like the style it is, he is excellent when he needs to be.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to say I don't like the way Jimmy approaches the game, because when he needs to be great, he doesn't fail, right? Those like in the playoffs, what he does is the last 5 minutes, he takes over. Right. Regular season, he doesn't take over in the last five. Right? He defers in the last 5. In the playoffs, it is Jimmy buckets in the playoffs. The last 5 minutes, he is great in the last 5 minutes. So, I'm pretty sure if Miami and Spo and Pat Riley didn't like the way he played, he would have changed his game. So the fact that they haven't done anything about it,
they're okay with it
to them. And if it makes sense to them, it makes sense to me.
Lavar Ball blames the NBA training staff and the Puma's raggedy shoes for his son's injury. Lavar Ball said, I quote, "The reason they hurt is because they got away from me and they start doing these Rudy Toot workouts, because if you keep running them hills, you're going to keep that power and strength. But you start dealing with those rubber bands and doing lightweight stuff, of course you're going to start breaking down. A lot of things have to do with them raggedy shoes that them shoes are not made the right way for him. That's why he keeps tweaking his ankles every single time."
I understand what he's saying when he's saying, he coming from a football background, just like
yes.
You guys understand that something that these new doctors don't have the understanding. They think more rest creates longevity, not realizing your muscles staying strong.
Yes.
Right? That's why I said if you're lifting every day and then you don't lift for a week and then go out there and try to perform, your muscles is not ready for what your body wants to do. And you get these little tweaks and so I understand with Lavar, because the study is showing that the more you're resting the guys, the more they're getting hurt. Now, when it comes to shoes, shoe companies and players really have to understand their feet in the shoe. Sometimes the shoe heel sole is too big for a guard.
Right.
You're talking about a guard like a Kyrie, a Steph, a LaMelo. The back part of that shoe needs to be more of a curl versus a block.
Right.
You're like, we need our ankles to give. So when we come down, we're coming down on our ankles. So it needs to roll. Sometimes the bottom of the shoe is too thick, which when your ankle rolls, it snaps quick. Instead of rolling, it snaps. And I think the best ankle supported shoes is the Jordans. The protection is in the heel part. It's not the top. The top that's flimsy. That has nothing to do with nothing. Yeah. Like when people are like, oh, you don't have the mids and the lows, you don't got no ankle support. The ankle support is in the heel.
Right.
The heel structure, keeping your foot in place, is the key to it. So I don't know anything about the Pumas, but it kind of does look bad structurally that he keeps getting hurt in your shoe. So whatever you're doing.
So let me ask you a question. So what's Lonzo's excuse? He don't wear Pumas.
I mean, he did hurt his original, he hurt his shoe and his daddy's shoe.
And Big Baller. So was that shoe raggedy? Was that big baller shoe raggedy?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's right. There's a difference. I think there's a difference between a player's shoe and a shoe that they sell.
Of course.
Stores.
Yes.
So they need to really worry about what the structure of the shoe feels like for the player himself.
Yeah.
What you sell in the shoe is
no. Because I'm sure they do all kind of monitoring. They put you in those things and they see how you stand and they have you run and they see, as you said, the dorsal flexion of your ankle. How does it roll? I pronated in, so I didn't really roll over the top, Gil. I rolled in because that's what normally happened to me. But structurally, anatomically, my parents was messed up. I got both my hips replaced. My sister in 2 weeks is getting both of her hips replaced. My brother got one of his hips replaced. He's gonna get a knee replaced. You see, ain't got nothing to do with shoes. My sister ain't played no sports, and she about to get both of her hips replaced. So my brother played 7 years.
No sports.
Yeah, she ain't played no sports, and so and sometimes structurally, is that I don't think when God created us, I don't think He created like, you know what? Yeah, I want y'all to be out there playing football. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to be playing basketball. I want you to jump up high and, you land somebody's ankle. You start. A lot of twerk. Even though Melo is a thin frame, that's still to be running as fast as you can with a basketball. Stop. Go in a different direction. Man, that's a lot of twerk on those joints.
Yeah, it's real. Like when you're talking about just the basic mechanics, you have to understand your body. And it's weird that the whole family is built strong, but the two boys, right?
But look how they're built compared to Jello.
Yeah,
thank you. Look at Jello. He's built like his dad, and the other two a thin frame.
Yep, and that's the weird part about it. But I just think that when the taller you are, the lower your soul needs to be to the floor, right?
Okay.
I wish like people ask me why did I wear running shoes? One, it was a thinner sole, lighter, right? I didn't like those big, but like the LeBrons or like Anthony Davis, those big heel 2-inch sole, them 2-inch heel. Hell no. Like my son, for the first time, he was trying out. He had a media day for his AAU team. Put on basketball shoes. He went up for a layup. Twisted his ankle. He's like, I'll never put on a basketball shoe again. Because he wears running shoes.
Wow.
Right? The taller you get, the closer your foot needs to be to the ground. You can't be wearing motherfucker 3-inch high heels on your shoes. And some of those shoes is 2.5 inches. Like, let's say you measure without your shoes 6'5". With shoes, you want to be around 6'5", 6'6.5". You start jumping into 6, 7.5, you got to watch it for your ankles.
Wow. But here's the thing. Most blacks are flat-footed. We don't have a to begin with. So you know what I'm saying, Gil? I'm especially athletes. Most athletes, black athletes, are flat-footed.
Yeah.
And so we used to have turf shoes, but they had a narrow arch. Man, I couldn't wear that because I didn't have no arch to begin with. Man, I'm flat-footed. I need something, and I got a wide foot. So I don't have a narrow foot. So I need something. Look at the shoes right there. Yeah, they look good, but I ain't gonna be able to play them because I'm gonna roll slap over the top of them.
Yeah, there's some shoes that if I put them on, they just hurt my feet from the beginning. Like it just hit my feet. Like there's shoes that the bottom of my sole, the bottom of my feet will burn.
Yeah,
it like just burn on the bottom of my feet. So
like some shoes, I can walk, I can step on a penny and twist my ankle.
Ooh,
roll right over the top. So, okay. Angel Reese made a decision today. She's set to enter the 2024 WNBA draft. Thank you. After much anticipation, Angel Reese announced her decision. Let's take a listen to her announcement.
All right, let's do this. 4 years. Where to begin? To my family, my mom, my MVP. To Baltimore and the Turks. To LSU, my PMAC home. To my teammates and coaches, managers and trainers. To God and his blessing of a life. Thank you. This was a difficult decision, but I trust the next chapter because I know the author. Bayou Barbie, out.
Bayou Barbie out. I love that. I love that. The WNBA draft is just right around the corner, April 15th in New York. ESPN latest mock draft have her going 7th to Minnesota. Where do you think the best fit for her is going to be? The Indiana Fever has the first pick. Sparks have the second. Sky third. Sparks have the fourth pick. Wings have the fifth. Mystics have the sixth. Minnesota have the 7th pick. Sky have the 8th. The Wings have the 9th, and the Connecticut Suns have the 10th.
She's going to be in the same color she's in right now, that purple and gold.
She's going to the Sparks?
She's going to the Sparks. Sparks need 2 rebounding bigs, 2 shot blocker type bigs, and at the 2, they can take the girl from
South Carolina, Carmela Cardoso?
No, the girl from
Cameron Brink.
Cameron Brink. And then they can take Angel Reese. That's the personality you need here. That's the person that's going to sell tickets, right? You need that personality in Los Angeles. Like, the purple and gold is built off like
names,
charisma, style, swagger, right? And she checks those boxes off.
Yeah, man, it was a great run. She had an unbelievable career, made a name for herself with the fashion, the eyelashes. She have her makeup on, her lip gloss, and she goes out there and she ball. At the end of the day, she's a heck of a player. She represented Baltimore extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
She represented LSU extremely well, and I think she's making the right decision. There's nothing else for her to prove. She's won a national championship. She's been an All-American. She's been SEC Player of the Year. It's time to go, and it's time, that's what you do. You graduate, you move on, and you says, okay, I'm ready for the next chapter in my life. And as she said, she knows the author. So she gets to write the story in her own words.
Yeah, and because this seems like it was planned, this has been a scheduled drop on how she was going to release her announcement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that the only way she was going to come out is if her brand itself was in a big city. I don't see the way this has all been dropped. I don't see she's coming into this draft not knowing where she's going. I don't see that. I just don't see that she's gonna end up in Minnesota somewhere. I just don't see it. I think that her brand was gonna be in the big city, a New York or an LA or Chicago. That's where her brand needs to be.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, absolutely. She is an LA young lady.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, her brand and what she wants to do, what she's trying to represent, I think LA is the ideal situation for her.
Mm-hmm.
I wish her the best. DeJuan Hines, this is for Angel Reese. DeJuan Hines asks Unc and Gil, how do you feel about all the hate Angel Reese has gotten since last year?
It
got more hate than I got. Go ahead, Gil. Go ahead.
Listen, only successful people get hate.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not getting hate, you're not doing nothing that irritates people,
mm-hmm.
right? You're doing just enough to keep people out your business, right? The fact that she does get hate lets you know she's good. She's doing something that you don't like, and it's irritating you, so you don't like her.
Mm-hmm.
That
a lot of the hate for Angel Reese, her and I are kind of different. A lot of the dislike and the jealousy and the envy come from people that look like me.
mm-hmm.
A lot of the hate and the envy and jealousy at her don't look like her.
Yeah, no,
because they don't like. See, this goes back to Jack Johnson
mm-hmm.
and Muhammad Ali. They don't like. They think you should be humble and
mm-hmm.
meek. Be thankful that we allow you to play our sport. Be thankful that we allow you to take our money. Be thankful that we watch you. But if you're great and you brag or you boast and you back it up, that's not how you're supposed to be. I want my athletes to be seen and not heard. So nobody cares what you want. You're not the athlete. You don't get to determine how we behave in our said sport. I mean, she's a double-double machine where she gave you 17 and 20 in the Elite Eight game on a bum ankle. Why do we have, well, such and such don't do it like that. That's not what this one did. So?
But they did.
They did. Caitlin Clark might not talk, but do you see those mannerisms on the court?
She was like, if we're saying that mannerism, the same mannerism that you hate Angel Reese for came from Caitlin Clark. Mm-hmm. It was her, man. It was her. Doing this to players. Like,
yeah, but we no. We like that. We like that.
We like that.
We don't like it. We don't. Don't you do
it? Larry Bird, one of the biggest trash talkers
ever.
Right? John Stockton, like. It's part of the game. Like, so just let it go. You're just mad that it happened back. Right? When Caitlin was doing it to the South Carolina girls, no one cared. Your ass couldn't shoot, and she turned around on you.
I ain't even looking at you.
I ain't even going out there. That's a hooper. A hooper does that too. You can't shoot. I'm not guarding you. Turn around. Right. That has nothing to do with black and white. No. Right? You can't shoot? Huh. I'm where rebound at? Brick.
Right.
Brick. She can't shoot a gun. Where?
Yeah.
That's what you do. Right?
Yeah.
And we enjoyed it.
Yeah. And I I think the thing is that I think I've been around it and you've been around it long enough. A lot of people are happy that LSU lost.
Yeah, of course.
Because Angels on that team.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the way it is. We like to see you rise, but then there's a fraction of us like to see the downfall as well.
It's now the WNBA has this. This is a moment that they need to capture. They have a rivalry that's coming into the NBA, into the W.
Mm-hmm.
They do not make those games, wherever those two go, marquee games.
Yep.
On special, whatever your special summer day is, 4th of July, whatever, those games need to be hyped. Like when Magic and Bird came into it was them two.
Yep.
When those two played, it was war. You have a built-in audience already for both groups. If you do not exploit it, something is wrong with you. And where you guys are, you should be. Like I said it on, Gil's Arena. If I'm the USA team and the W, Caitlin Clark will be invited. Juju will be invited. Angel Reese will be invited. And Paige will be invited to that team.
Yeah. I think Caitlin Clark was the only one invited, right?
Yeah, all of them will. These are the four biggest names in women's basketball, period. Right now, Sabrina is probably 4th or 5th. In Asia, 5th and 6th. Those 4 girls in women's basketball right now is the biggest names. When you talking about going to Paris, those 4 jerseys will outsell every jersey on the rest of that team.
Oh, for sure.
Those are going to be the biggest jersey sales for WNBA and women's. All 4 of them will move units. So if you do not put them on the team, you are doing your league a disjustice. When the NBA, that 04, they put LeBron James and Carmelo and D Wade on the team, people were like, oh, LeBron lost it. LeBron didn't play. Melo didn't get off that bench. It was for the names. It was to build their game. These are our young futures, and we're going to put them on the team. You're only going to go about 8 deep anyway, so you don't really need to play the 4. And if you do, they're for specialty moments.
Right.
You're using them for the names. You're building these names for your league's future. I do not care about who deserves to be there. Congratulations. Heads need to be cut off to move the needle in your sport. And if you're not willing to cut it off, do not complain.
Right. Well, I think Caitlin Clark, if you look at the team that I really watch is the Aces, the Vegas team. Look at the passion and the fire that Asia plays with. Look at Chelsea Gray. Look at Kelsey Plum.
Yep.
I love that passion. That it you could tell it means something, and they fighting tooth and nail. Yeah. I love Stewie, DT. I met DT when she was still. I met DT when she was as a matter of fact, they might have just won the national championship her last year. I think this was like 04. I met was it 04? I retired 04. Might have been 05 when I was the All-Star game was in Denver, and I met her. I just love I love the way they play. I love the energy, the passion in which they bring. And Asia, Caitlin Clark, she definitely brings that passion. Paige brings that passion. Now Juju is a little bit more subdued. She's a little bit more subdued. Yeah. But her game's strong. Paige is fiery. She's not that long, that lineage of UConn great players. But I agree with you, Gil. I think this is a golden opportunity for the WNBA to take advantage. I wish it could be like the college for the men, that Juju could go if that's what she wanted to do. She could go to the WNBA because I think her game is strong enough to go. Yeah. Paige has already made the decision that she's coming back. But the others are going. But
and that's why I said you need to build that relationship for your WNBA fan base. Think about it. Just think about it globally. We're watching how big the Elite Eight was, right? Now the same 4 girls on the U.S. team. What does that do to that fan base? They're going to watch it too. You're going to be people are going to be sitting there trying to figure out when the WNBA, because when was the last time you watched a USA girls game?
Yeah, I watch Gil, but at some point in time, Gil, you got to start bringing some new girls on. DT ain't gonna play in 28. Now she's coming back in 24. I think this is gonna be like a 5th Olympics. Sue Bird is already retired. I mean, at some point in time, you need to start bringing an influx of young girls in there so they can get some experience on the international level.
In experience, I mean, you get the experience, your jerseys, like they're never going to, the opportunity they have today, they will not get it again for a while. That's why this moment in time is very important from them. The NBA seen it and they capitalized. They seen when Kobe was, when Jordan left the game, Kobe,
right there,
T-Mac, Kevin Garnett, they were looking like they were coming in their own. NBA went young, 2001 draft, all high school kids. Boom. Took off. And that's where the game has been going, right? You have to look at the moment in time, and they don't come often. And when it comes, you got to strike and strike fast.
Or put them on because Kelsey Plum, because remember, they got a 3-on-3 tournament in the Olympics too. Guys and gals. Hey, Let them, hey, because Kelsey Plum was on the 3-on-3 team with Stephanie Dawson. I forget some of the other young ladies that was a part of that. But but at some point in time, you got to get them international experience again.
Yeah, you got to get them. I mean, you got to get. I mean, it just like you have to somehow try to bridge this big gap, and the gap that the W don't have is Juju's fan base, right? Paige Becker's fan base, right? The fan base, like those girls got the high school girls still, right? Now, I'm going to tell you somebody who played it smart. Sabrina played like the reason she's so big is because all her shoes is in high school basketball. High school basketball, boys is wearing it. All the girls is wearing it. So when Nike are putting their shoes out, they're not giving them the KDs and back then the Giannis's, the Paul George. They're giving them Sabrinas.
Right.
So she can push her product to the youth kids.
Caitlin Clark is the next one. She's gonna get a signature shoe.
Adidas, Nike. Someone needs to
gonna throw a bag on them.
I'm throwing a bag. Like this is the time when you got to capitalize while the fire's hot.
Right.
If you don't and you miss it, you missed it. There's nothing you can do about it.
Right. So congratulations, Angel. Great, outstanding college career. Much success to you moving forward. Bayou Barbie is on the move, headed to the WNBA. Vince Carter and Chauncey Billups will be part of the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame class of 2024. The rest of the 2024 inductees will be announced Saturday evening at the NCAA Men's Final Four. What do you think about VC, Vinsanity, and Chauncey going into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame?
I think it's great. You know, both players, you know, had remarkable careers. Vinsanity is Vinsanity, right? He was a highlight reel. He's the one who really put Toronto on the map, right? If it wasn't for Vince accepting Toronto and understanding that what he does and who he is can like put a light on the whole country. The Toronto we see today, it was because of Vince. Vince, like the women that was there, no one knew those women was there until Vince was throwing parties there, right? And you going in like, woo, where did it come from? This is what Toronto has. Toronto's he's the one who did that. So, you know, he deserves it. You know, Chauncey, you know, has been solid. And, you know, that championship, Big shot Billups, that championship he brung the Pistons, where I consider that Piston team the best defensive team the Pistons ever had, right? When you're talking about defense, that was the defensive team. The other team was brute, hacking and all that, right? They, you know, what Jordan them said, they played dirty basketball. That 2014, they were a defensive team. They outsmarted you. They didn't use the physical. They were smarter. They played basketball and they understood how to play defense with the rules of the game, right? So, and Chauncey was the leader of that, and he deserves it.
Yeah, I know Chauncey. He went to George Washington in Denver, right down the street from where I was, where I lived at the time. So I've been knowing him since he was in high school. Great guy. Actually, I just saw him when I went to saw Prime them play when they played at CU. They was up at CU. He happened to be there, so I had a great conversation with him. I'm happy for him also. Followed Vince when he was at NC, Toronto, and Orlando. I'm happy for those guys also, but I'm really, really especially excited for Chauncey because I've been knowing him. I've been knowing him seemingly for like 30 years or so. Well deserved. The 1 year he spent at Colorado to play college ball for his hometown college team. Well, it's in Boulder, but his state was great, and I'm excited for Chauncey to represent the going to the Basketball Hall of Fame. And congratulations to him and Vince and the rest of the class that will be announced Saturday during the Final Four of the men. So congratulations, guys, and to the rest of the class that's coming tonight, coming Saturday. Gil, it's time for our last segment of the night, and it's a Q&A. Hold on. Ashes typing. We're experiencing some issues with people being able to donate and ask questions. So we're working on that ASAP. So just bear with us. Upgrade King says, greetings, Nightcap fans. Shouldn't MVP award for you most valuable player, not the best player in the league? Why we complicate the award or change the names? Your thought, gentlemen.
Yeah, that's what the players themselves, we have that question. Is it the most valuable player or the best player on the best team? You know what I mean? No one gets a real definite answer to this, right?
Yeah.
Like, we seen what OKC looks like without Shai, right? That means his value, his importance to that team's success is very high, right?
Right.
Which means he is a valuable player to his team, right? So it reminded me of when Westbrook was having a triple-double, right? He had to play 1,000 miles an hour. He had to rev his engine up to maximum to get them to win. When you're on the best team, you don't necessarily have to go 100% all the time because you have all these guys with you. When Steph Curry and Clay and Katie was together, they didn't have to go 100%.
Right.
Because you go, and then I'll fit in where Russell, to play against you guys, he can't take a playoff.
No.
So we always had that struggle with, what does it mean, right? What does it really mean? And we don't get a real definition. No one knows because the people who are voting don't give out those answers.
Right. Luke Husky asks, you think we'll see playoff P or pandemic P in the playoffs? This last playoff, I think he got hurt.
Yeah.
Playoffs before last, the one Kawhi got hurt, that was playoff P.
Playoff P. Yeah, that's where he got his nickname from. I think playoff P is coming. And you know, it's just right now everybody seems to be getting healthier to get ready for this last push. And that's great for us. I don't see really anybody going into the playoffs with lingering injuries besides Shai. We don't really know, how serious that thigh is. Right. But for the most part, most teams have their star players right now.
Right. Kimber Norwood Jr. Love the orange blazer you had on yesterday on First Take. My question is, who do you have winning Defensive Player of the Year in basketball? And Gil, you're my favorite Wizards player. Thank you, bro. I had to break out a little something because Stephen A. been on me lately about my gear, but he don't know I can put these rags together. I just, I want to make everybody feel good. I think Wemby. I agree with Gil. I think Wemby should win Defensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a knock on Rudy Gobert, but I think Wemby has been just as impactful and his blocks are just the shots that he's blocking. He's coming out of nowhere. I'm like, hey, where the hell you come from? He's chasing down people and blocking. He's just not coming weak side. He's chasing down people and blocking their shot. He chased Jokic down several times last night to block his shot.
This is the real. If I'm voting, this is what I will base it off of. If I switched both of them, if I switched both players and said, "All right, Rudy, you're the defensive player on the Spurs, and we're gonna take Wemby," would you have the same defensive rating? No, Rudy wouldn't, because Rudy don't have the intangibles to do the things Wemby does. We're only judging Wemby because his team is bad. When he's in the game, they're ranked 1 in defense. Remember, he's only playing 20-something minutes. So that means 20 minutes he's off the floor, which means this is what's going on when he's not on the floor. When he's on the floor, they're ranked 1, and Minnesota's ranked 2, and they have multiple defensive players.
Right.
So single-handedly, he is number 1 by himself.
Wow. I agree. I would vote Wemby. I think he's had a phenomenal season. He's even better than I thought. He's better than they advertised.
Yep.
They said he was going to be good. He's better. He's better than what they said.
Yeah.
He's skilled, but he's more skilled. And I'm like, man, this dude's so thin, man. He can shoot the ball. He can put the ball on the floor at 7'4.5", 7'5". He's blocking shot. He hustles. He's going to be. And you know what? He's the next guy that's going to get a quadruple double.
Yeah,
he's going to get multiple of those.
Well, this is how we know he's good. There's only a few rookies that's came into the league that really dominated. You talk about Magic, Bird. You got MJ, Shaq. You have LeBron came in. Allen Iverson came in, but for the most part, with Luka, when you're talking about young, it's only a few now, right? Bird came in at 22. Jordan, when he played his birthday, he turned 22 that year. But you're talking about Magic was all of 19. Right? LeBron, Luka, Wemby. You know what I mean? These guys are on the whole different, stratosphere. And, I like what I'm seeing. And, this is the rest of the season is going to be great. The summer is going to be very big for him, and I can't wait to see him next year.
Yeah, I think he's going to he's going to get better. He's going to get stronger. He has an understanding of what the NBA is like. Mm-hmm. They're going to increase his minutes. So you increase his minutes 2 to 3. That's more opportunities for him to score. That's more opportunities for him to block shots. And so I think he's only going to get better. He strikes me as a guy that's willing to put the work in because he wants to be great. He understands that he's been given a lot of God-given ability, and to replay and to show how thankful he is to the man upstairs with that ability is to work his ass off with that skill.
Yep, you're right.
So I'm anxious to see. He makes you. I don't normally pay attention because I always thought the Spurs were broccoli. They're good to you, but they're boring as hell to eat. You got to put cheese on them. Yep. And you got to have a nice steak and some baked potato to go along with it for you to digest it. But Wemby makes you want to watch the Spurs. He really does. He makes you want to watch the Spurs.
He does.
And I think they got something really brewing and special. Guys, that's it for Nightcap. Thank you guys for watching another edition of Nightcap. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. And guys, do us a favor. Please go vote for us for a Webby Award for Best Sports Podcast. We pinned the link in the chat. We're in second place behind New Heights. We got to catch these Swifties. I might come up with me about 500 or 600 emails and vote and just keep voting.
So someone in your chat said, "Who is Sam Vincent?" Sam Vincent is our backup point guard for the Lakers.
Gabe Vincent.
No, Gabe. He left Gabe in Miami. The dude that we got here is Sam. We got Sam Vincent over here. We ain't seen Gabe yet. We ain't seen what the Miami had. We got Sam Vincent. We got an alter ego here. We got to let it work in. They got to work it. Let it work in, Gil. Let it work in, Gil. Hey, and when did he need to earn his first name back? So right now, y'all, Sam Vincent is what we got.
Man. Thank you guys for joining for another episode of Nightcap. We pinned. Please go vote for us for the Webby Awards. We greatly appreciate that. We pinned it in the chat. Please make sure you guys subscribe to the Nightcap podcast feed. You can listen to us through the Club Shay Shay feed, but we greatly appreciate it if you listen and subscribe to the Nightcap podcast feed. Thank you guys again for selling out Shea by Laportier. We are taking pre-orders only, and we pinned the link at the chat in the top of the chat. So thank you guys. Also, make sure you subscribe and listen to and watch Gil's Arena channel. He has a show that airs every Monday through Thursday live at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. That's Gil's Arena channel on YouTube. His show airs Monday through Thursday live at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. He also has a personal page that's on YouTube, and it's called No Chill Gil. That's his personal page, Gilbert Arena's personal page, No Chill Gil. Let's go get his subs up. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Nightcap. I'm your favorite Unc, Shannon Sharpe. He's your favorite number 0, Hibachi Man, Arizona Wildcat legend, Wizards great, Golden State Orlando. You play with anybody else?
Nah, I wasn't good in Orlando. I was great. Hey, I played for Memphis too. I was the bench warmer in Memphis.
Oh,
Best
man.
bench warmer, though. I was the best bench warmer. I was the nicest out there.
You was cheering them on. You was cheering them
I was
on.
cheering them on.
So thank you for joining for another episode. Thank you, guys. We're back tomorrow. Myself and Ocho. Thanks for joining us, Gil. Appreciate that. See you next week, bro.